Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Raz, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to file the BIR Form 0619E using the EBIR Forms. So if you're ready, let's start. Actually, I have already a video discussion about how to file 0619E, but I felt the need to rediscuss this again because I have committed a mistake in my previous video, and I think it would be better to have another video for this because to clarify things out. Okay, and also because I want to introduce to you to my new template, which I will be giving away for free. Okay, so in this video, we will focus our discussion on how to file the BIR Form 0619E or the Monthly Remittance Form for creditable income taxes withheld or the expanded withholding taxes. So, who will file this 0619E? According to our current regulations, any individual or non-individual considered as a withholding agent who is required to withhold and deduct taxes on income payments, on their income payments subject to expanded or creditable withholding taxes. So if you are a taxpayer, whether individual or non-individual, and you are required by the BIR to withhold taxes on your purchases of goods or services such that it is expressly stipulated in your certificate of registration that you have to withhold taxes, then you should be filing 0619E. For example, if you are leasing a property from a lessor, from someone, and you are paying that lessor, so before you will pay the lessor, you will of course have to withhold 5% EWT. Or if you are consulting from someone and you are paying for his or her professional fees, then also you have to withhold a certain rate. Or if you are considered, or if you are one of those top withholding agents, you are required to withhold 1% on your purchases of goods and 2% of your purchases on the services. So withholding of taxes is a responsibility of the buyer. So if you are the purchaser or the buyer and you are required by the law to withhold tax, certain rate, then you must withhold that. It will not matter if you are a VAT or non-VAT taxpayer. And having VAT registration or non-VAT registration is not relevant in determining whether you are required to withhold or not. As long as it is indicated, it is stipulated in your COR, and you are required by the law or by the BIR to withhold the tax, you should be withholding the tax. Okay? There are people who are VAT registered who are required to withhold taxes or not required to withhold taxes. There are also some taxpayers who are non-VAT registered but still required to withhold taxes. So again, it doesn't matter if you are a VAT registered or non-VAT registered, as long as you are required to withhold taxes, you should be withholding taxes. So the purpose of the BIR Form 0619E is to remit on monthly basis the taxes withheld from supplier of goods or services. So again, if you are a withholding agent, for example, you are consulting someone and you are paying him or them a professional fee, then you are required to withhold a certain percent. It's either 5%, 10%, or 15%. So you're required to withhold this certain amount of rate. And since you are withholding this tax, you should also be required to file and remit these taxes to the BIR. Because in this, you are not the one who is being taxed here. Okay? Remember that these taxes that you withheld is not your tax. It's not your money. It's the supplier's money. It's your supplier's money. So, kumbaga, it's just you who is acting as a withholding agent, okay? And those professionals, the lessors, the suppliers of goods and services, are actually the ones who are being taxed here and not you. You are just acting as a withholding agent. So therefore, you must, whatever taxes you withheld from them you should be filing them, you should be remitting them to the BIR. Okay? So that's the purpose of 0619E on a monthly basis, because we also have another video for a quarterly remittance of withholding taxes, and that is under 1601EQ, which we have in another video. So here's the deadline for filing of BIR Form 0619E. So again, there are 12 months in a year, of course, and the filing of 0619E is only applicable for the first 2 months of the quarter. So there are 4 quarters in a year, and for the first 2 months of every quarter, we should be using the 0619E. And for the 3rd month of every quarter, we will be using the 1601EQ, which we will have another video for that. So for the month of January and February, so these are the first 2 months of the first quarter, the deadline is on the 10th day of the following month. So any taxes withheld during the month of January, we will be remitting that on February 10. That's the deadline. And any taxes withheld during the month of February, you'll be remitting that on March 10, and so on. So that is for the first 2 months of the quarter. Okay, so for April and May, that is for the second quarter. So we'll be remitting that on the 10th day following the month, or following the end of the month of that quarter. Now let's have an example on how do we file the 0619E using the EBIR forms. So I have here a working paper, an EWT working paper template. I'm using this usually before I start filing the 0619E and the 1601EQ. So I use this template to help me reconcile everything before I file all taxes, especially the expanded withholding taxes. So I have 14 sheets here. So you can see the EWT summary, the ADC, the January, and up to December. So there are 14 sheets here. Okay, so the first sheet, the EWT summary, gives me the summary of all transactions that happened during the year. So we have here January, February, and so on. So for the month of January, there are 5 transactions. For the month of February, there are 4 transactions, and for the month of March, there are 4 transactions also. Our focus is in this month. So let us assume that this month is February, and we are now remitting the taxes withheld during the month of January. Again, when remitting, when filing 0619E, we will be using the 0619E for the first 2 months of the quarter. And in this assumption, let us assume that in this video tutorial, we are filing for the month of January. So therefore, the deadline would be on or before February 10. Okay, so you will see there in your screen, we have here the number of transactions, the total amount invoiced for the entire month of January. Okay, so this is the amount appearing on the invoices and official receipts. And this amount is further split into vatable and non-vatable amount. So out of the 75,000 pesos invoiced amount, 40,178 is a vatable amount, and 30,000 was a non-vatable amount. Okay, so if you add this together, it will not equal to 75,000 because the VAT component here is already extracted. Okay, yung 4178 na yan, tinanggal na yung VAT dyan. Okay, wala nang VAT dyan. So that is why if you will add this, hindi na yan mag-equal ng 75,000 pesos. So also, we have the column for withholding taxes. So I have mentioned here 4061E. So, ito yung column na to, okay, yung column na yan is only for 0619E, especially in item 14. So, yan yung amount na ilalagay natin dun sa item 14 ng 0619E, which I will show to you later on. Okay? I also have here another column, status. I want myself to be reminded always if it is filed or not. So, let's say for example na filed na to, but again I have to show you how it was filed. Okay, so we also have here another column, a BIR form. So again, I really need to put it here because I want always to be reminded that for the month of January and February I should be using the 0619E, and for the month of March I should be using the 601 EQ, and so on. Okay, so yung dating return, by the way, before the EQ was 1601E, but it was abandoned, and since 2018 rather, we are now using the 1601 EQ. Also, I have another column here, deadline, so that again I will be reminded kung kailan yung deadline for this return. So andyan na yan siya dyan sa columns na yan, and all you need to do is to just monitor, okay, monitor your filing. And also here I have a separate portion, but I'm not going to discuss that here first, because I will discuss that in our another video in the filing of 1601 EQ. So when using this working paper, all you have to do is to go to the month that you will be filing. For example, for the month of January, so ayan, punta tayo sa month of January, sa sheet na January. So you will see here all transactions. Okay, so I have here date January 1, and then suppliers name, so I have 5 suppliers. So in this assumption, I have only transactions from these 5 different suppliers, and I also have provided here another column for their TIN and their addresses. And then also here in ATC, okay, so you don't have to memorize all the ATC. Okay, so all you have to do is to, for example, if in my case, in this case, for example, I have a transaction with DF company, who is a lessor, and then it is a corporate taxpayer. So I have here ADC WC 100. So ADC, by the way, stands for alphanumeric tax code. So if you are not so sure of what ADC you are going to use, or di nyo pa alam yan, you can go to the sheet here, ADC. Okay, so if you notice here, so here, there's a complete list of all ADC provided by our BIR. So if you are paying for professional fees, and the professional is a person, an individual, then you can choose either it's WI 010 or WI 011. Okay, so 5% or 10%. And if you are paying for rent, for example, that's here. Nasa payments on gross rental or lease for the continued use, and so on. So it's either WI 100 or WC 100, and the rate is 5%. Okay, so all you need to do is just to click this arrow, this drop down arrow, and then choose whatever ATC that you need to whatever ATC applicable to that transaction. So for example, assume it's WC 081, so automatically yan siyang mag-pick doon, mag-select ng rate. So kung 100 naman, so again 5%. Okay, so you don't have to memorize the rates. All you have to do is just to click to select what ATC is applicable to the transactions. So again, in this case, it's WC 100. And then also, I have provided here a column for a VAT or non-VAT. And in this assumption, I am assuming that DF company is a VAT registered lessor. So again, I put here VAT, so that this invoiced amount, the 15,000, it means that this 15,000 is already inclusive of the VAT. Ibig sabihin, yung 15,000 na yan, kasama na dyan yung VAT. And we need to extract the amount of VAT so that we could get the tax base. So that is why, kung blank lang yan dyan, okay, so 15,000 yan. But if you will clear VAT, okay, that's 13,392. If you will put here NVAT or non-VAT, another 15,000. And yung withholding tax naman, automatic yan siya compute ng withholding tax. So 5% times the gross amount. So for example, we are transacting with XYZ company, and then let us say that this is a seller, an individual, a proprietorship, for example. Pag ganyan, piliin lang natin dito sa ATC whatever is applicable to the transaction. So again, pili tayo dito. So let us say, for example, alin ba dito yung mas maganda? Let's say ito. Ito na lang. Yan. So, WI 011. Assume na pipiliin natin yan, okay? So, balik tayo doon. So, WI 011. So, just click that. And then, piliin natin yung WI 011. So, here. So, it will automatically give me the rate of 10%. If we're going to compare that rate sa ATC, ayan, tama siya. Okay? So, ayan. Then, we will also select the component, the VAT, whether VAT was XYZ or not. So, if you will put here VAT, and then also put here the amount. Suppose that we paid XYZ, let's say, for example, 5,000 for a professional fee. Okay, 5,000. So, again, automatically yan siyang mag-co-compute doon ng, i-extract yung VAT, and then automatically din siyang mag-co-compute ng withholding tax. Okay, so yan. Okay, so now that we have already encoded everything, every transactions that were subjected to withholding taxes, let's go back to the EWT summary. But before that, let's have first the total, no? So we have here, if we are going to add this 15, 20, 20, 10, 10, and 5, the total of that is 80,000. So if you notice here, so baba, ayan, sum is 80,000. Whereas the withholding tax here is also 1,873.21. Okay? So if we're going to go back to the EWT summary, so that's, okay, so ayan na. So 80,000, and then yung tax is, yan. So 1,873.21. So yun lang, napakadali niya. You just have to put the transactions here, the supplier's name, their TIN, their address, the ADC applicable, and then the VAT or non-VAT, then the amount. Then automatically, mag-compute na yan siya dyan sa summary. Okay. We will not discuss this area, ha? Hindi muna. So, just ignore that area muna. So, we'll focus here. So, now we are ready to file our 0619E. And to file that, I have here already a working, the EBIR forms. Okay, so ayan na. So, I'm assuming that you already have downloaded the EBIR forms. So, in the EBIR forms, just select 0619E. Ayan. Monthly Remittance Form for Creditable Income Taxes Withheld or Expanded. And then, click that. And then, click Fill Up. Okay. So, ayan. Then, after that, ayan na siya. Ito yung form. So, we will choose for the month of January since we are filing for the month of January. So, the deadline is February 10. Okay? It will also be asked here whether this is an amended return or not. So, I will click No. Pag sinabi kasing amended return, ibig sabihin, you have already filed an income tax. This 0619E before. But, probably there were mistakes committed, there were errors committed in that return, and you feel the need to file another return to correct that mistake. So, hence, amended. Okay, so, in this case, I will not click yes because I'm assuming this is the first time, so no. And then, any taxes withheld? Yes, I have taxes withheld, so just ignore this 5 and 6, okay? Then, go to item 12. By the way, if you have missed to fill up anything from this part, from the part 1, hindi yan siya ma-validate, okay? May parang pop-up message na you have missed something. So, it's important that lahat ng items dyan from 1 to 12 ay filled up na yan. Okay? So, now we are now going to encode or to enter the amount. So, as I've said, in filing 0619A, all we need is the item 14. Okay? Yan lang. Item 14 lang. So, let's go back to the EWT summary. So, ayan. Yung amount na na-withheld, yung total amount na na-withheld natin for the month of January, which is 1,873.21 in this case, yun lang yung i-enter natin doon sa EBIR form. 1,873.21. So, 1,873.21. And that's it. Okay, so yun lang. If this is an amended return, kung nakapag-file na kayo before this and this return is amended, you are going to put to enter here the amount paid. Okay? So, Pag wala naman, pag wala kayong na withheld but you are still required to file the return, you just put here 0. Okay? Wala na, that's it. So, just click save and then click validate. And then once you are sure na, you are already sure, you are ready to file this, you just click submit final copy. Okay? But in this case, I will not click that. Okay? Because I have already filed this through EFPS. And you will wait for, I think, 1 hour to 2 hours to receive the confirmation receipt from the BIR. So, yun lang. Ganun siya kadali. And you don't have to go to the BIR. You don't have to print this. By the way, yung ginawa ko is after I submitted the final copy of this return, what I do is piniprint ko siya. And then, pag nag-reply na si BIR sa email, dun sa email na nilagay ko doon dito, okay, yan. So, pag nag-reply na si BIR doon ng confirmation receipt, i-print ko din yun. So, itong return na to, yung printed copy nito, plus yung confirmation receipt noon, i-print out ko yun that may physical copy ako ng documents na to. Okay? So, yun lang. So, that's how you file the 061E using the EBIR forms. So, if you want this template, I will be giving this for free. It will be available in the description box, or you can send me email so that I can send this template to you directly. All you need to do is to edit this company name, the address, and then the year ended. And then you can also customize this on your own. You can add more columns, but again, do not distort the formula para yung formula niya is yun pa din. Okay, so if you find this video interesting, this tutorial interesting, give me a like, and please click subscribe. Okay, share this to your friends. Okay, invite your friends to like this video. And also that's it. Okay, if you have questions, by the way, you can comment them down below, or you can also send me message through Messenger or through email para mabasa ko. And my email address is available sa profile ko sa YouTube. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope you love this video. See you in our next video. Bye!